Our first epic of Remnant chapter is here, along with a bunch of new servants. Hello everyone, Soberoni of G&A Reviews here with this new servant spotlight for Shinjuku. Today we're going to be taking a look at a servant that most people forgot is even in this gacha, Shinjuku Assassin. We'll be examining his stats and skills, as well as going over pointers on how to utilize him effectively, and an overall grade comparing him to how he stacks up to the other 4-star servants. Now, onto Assassin stats. Shinjuku Assassin has a max HP of 11,637 and a max attack of 8,661. When accounting for his Assassin class modifier, his true attack becomes 7,794. He's tied for the second highest max HP among all 4-star assassins, but is also near the bottom when it comes to attack. Likewise, compared to the rest of the 4-star servants, his HP is above average, but his attack is very poor. His stat spread is low attack and high HP, useful for supports and tank servants, but poor for offense. Taking a look at his skills, his first skill is Chinese Boxing rank EX. It increases his crit star gather rate for 1 turn between 300 and 600% and increases his NP gain for 1 turn between 20 and 30%, both depending on level. His second skill is Espionage rank A. It increases his crit star drop rate for 3 turns between 9 and 29%, depending on level, and this can be improved through a strengthening quest into Doppelganger rank B+. It increases his critical star drop rate, his quick card effectiveness, and his crit strength for 3 turns, all between 20 and 30%, depending on level. And finally, his last skill is Skillful Star rank A+. It decreases his crit star gather rate for 1 turn by 100%, and then grants him between 10 and 20 crit stars, depending on level. Moving on to his passives, he has Presence Concealment rank C, which increases his crit star drop rate by 6%, and Villain rank A, which increases his quick card effectiveness by 5%, and his crit strength by 5%. Moving on to his deck and Noble Phantasm, Shinjuku Assassin has a quick deck with quick Arts Buster, and a quick Noble Phantasm. His Noble Phantasm Jumen Maifuku Mue no Gotoku deals significant damage to a single enemy between a 1200% and 2000% damage modifier, and decreases their critical strength for 3 turns between 20 and 40%, depending on overcharge. Taking a closer look at his cards, we see that his quick card hits 3 times, his arts card hits 3 times, his buster card hits once, and his extra attack hits 5 times. He has an NP gain rate of 0.71% and a star rate of 25.6%. That translates into average NP gain due to only having 1 arts card, but very strong star generating from the triple quick deck and high hits on his extra and Noble Phantasm. For a servant that is so often overlooked, you would think that Shinjuku Assassin would have a much higher Presence Concealment rank, but to be fair, he doesn't need it. Shinjuku Assassin is one of the best star generators in the game, and despite his stats being heavily skewed toward HP, he can also make his presence felt offensively. All of Shinjuku Assassin's skills revolve around generating and manipulating crit stars. His first skill, Chinese Martial Arts, greatly increases his own star weight and NP gain for a turn. As you can imagine, this is essentially a great tool for ramping up your NP gauge. Between your crits and your increased NP gain, you can gain a huge chunk of NP gauge from Brave Chains with this skill. Espionage is a low cooldown skill that can be active for most of the battle and slightly increases your star generating. There isn't too much to say about this skill until post-strengthening because it's so straightforward, but post-strengthening it becomes significantly better. By buffing your quick cards, it further increases your star generating by a considerable amount, as well as your damage, and while the crit buff is pretty small, it's on a short cooldown, so it's good to have for further increasing your damage, especially given how often you're going to be critting, thanks to all your star generating. And finally, Assassin's last skill is Skillful Star. It works similarly to MHX Alter's third skill in that it manipulates the flow of crit stars. This skill makes your own star weight 0 for a turn, while also generating a ton of stars all at once. This is perfect for setting up another servant on your team to do some critting. Skill priority for leveling should be Espionage/Doppelganger because that's most important for your star generating, followed by Chinese Martial Arts for more NP gain, and then Skillful Star last. Shinjuku Assassin has a single target quick Noble Phantasm that lowers enemy crit strength. The damage on it is decently good, especially once you get that strengthening quest for Doppelganger, but more importantly it generates a lot of stars because of the high hit counts. I don't know if I made it clear enough, but Shinjuku Assassin is all about generating crit stars. He lives, eats, and breathes crit stars. On the bright side, you'll be hard pressed to find a servant who can produce stars so consistently from both their attacks and their skills. Thanks to his star absorb and crit buff, he can also make good use of the stars that he generates. Being able to crit consistently does help him out with his low attack, and thanks to his single target Noble Phantasm, he can be deceptively good offensively. The downside of being such a hyper-focused servant is he offers virtually nothing else outside of star generating. Many star generators fill multiple roles. They usually can generate stars while also providing other forms of utility, like damage buffs, defense, debuffs, or they have a very strong offensive niche. Shinjuku Assassin doesn't offer any real utility at all outside of his star generating, and while he can be decent offensively, he is a far cry from powerhouses like Carmilla or Shiki. He also lacks any survivability at all, making him very fragile despite his high HP. It may be obvious, but Shinjuku Assassin's primary role on any given team is to be the star generator. He works well in nearly any quick crit team, but I also suggest pairing him with Shinjuku Archer, Jean Alter, and Ku Prototype. Shinjuku Archer needs a constant stream of crit stars to work well and to enable his most powerful skill, so Assassin is the perfect solution. In addition, he also has an evil alignment, so he benefits from Shinjuku Archer's evil charisma. Meanwhile, both Ku Prototype and Jean Alter are powerful crit servants that are not very self-sufficient. If you would rather use Shinjuku Assassin more offensively, then I suggest pairing him with Skahawk, Brynhilda, or Summer Marie. Skahawk can target him with Primordial Rune to greatly buff his damage, while he in turn can provide her plenty of crit stars so that she isn't solely dependent on her Noble Phantasm to deal damage. Bryn has a targetable Star Absorb buff, which she can use to ensure you're able to crit much more often, while Summer Marie can buff your attack, star drop rate, and crit damage with her Noble Phantasm. Shinjuku Assassin's Bondcraft Essence is 108 Stars of Destiny. It increases quick card effectiveness of all allies by 10% and crit damage by 15%. A good craft essence to use in quick teams. Aside from that, you're going to want to focus on any craft essences that bolster your star generating or your damage, or both. If you're going purely for a star generating role, which I suggest, then use Be Elegant, Moonlight Fest, Kitchen Patissiere, or 3 Great Heroes. Be Elegant is best for pure star generating, Moonlight Fest if you want some extra crit damage, Kitchen Patissiere is going to add better NP gain on top of your star generating, and 3 Great Heroes is going to give you some more NP damage along with your star generating, which is especially good if you're up against riders. Speaking of which, if damage is your focus, I suggest using Imaginary Around, Dumplings Over Flowers, Dangerous Beast, or Heaven's Feel. Imaginary Around is going to be the best all-around choice. Dumplings Over Flowers and Heaven's Feel are going to add a lot more damage to your Noble Phantasm, and Dangerous Beast is a great way to increase your star generating while also increasing your damage. For future proofing, I recommend Seaside Luxury. It is one of the best craft essences in the game for generating stars very consistently, and it's a straight upgrade from Be Elegant. Overall, Shinjuku Assassin is meant to do one thing and one thing only: feed your team crit stars. And to that extent, he does a phenomenal job. His star generating is very high, and he can even manipulate star RNG to a very small degree, or make use of the stars himself for some extra damage. Post-strengthening quests, he can also be a somewhat good offensive assassin, but he suffers from being too specialized in a niche that doesn't really have that much demand. There are so many star generators in the game, and Shinjuku Assassin does nothing to separate himself from them or make his gimmick unique or better. He offers no support buffs or debuffs, he has no survivability, and even at his best offensively, he can't hold a candle to assassins like Carmilla. So he gets a C- from me pre-strengthening quest, and that moves up to a C+ post-strengthening quest because of the large buff to his damage. Shinjuku Assassin is a victim of his own design. He may be a great star generator, but star generating on its own is not a strong niche to specialize in. Many craft essences and lower rarity servants, like Fuma, can essentially do the same thing that Shinjuku Assassin does while also adding something else. He just needs more variety in his skill set. And those are my thoughts on Shinjuku Assassin. This is one of the harder assessments I've had to make, so I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing if you really enjoyed the video. Join the party over our Discord, chill with us on Twitch, and follow us on Twitter. And I'll see you all in the next Servant Spotlight. So Roni out. Later.